Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachariyam. Yamunatira Vanachariyam. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gora Premanandi Haribo. It's delayed, the thing. A little delayed, isn't it? No, the sound that's coming is all right. We're gonna read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, chapter 12, text 5. Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayam mudiraye Nasta prayesha vadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Adyanta vasyayan madhyam idamanyad aham bahi yato vyayasya naitani tat satyam brahmachid bhavan. Adyanta vasyayan madhyam idamanyad aham bahi yato vyayasya naitani tat satyam brahmachid bhavan. Adyanta vasyayan madhyam idam anyad aham bahi yato vyayasya naitani tat satyam brahma chit bhavan.
Adyantavasya yanmadhyam idamanyadaham bahi yato vyayasya naitani tat satyam brahma chit bhavan.
Adi, the beginning, Antau, and the end, Asya, of this manifested cosmos, or of anything material or visible. Yet, that which, Madhyam, between the beginning and the end, the sustenance, Idam, this cosmic manifestation, and yet anything other than you, Aham, the wrong mental conception, Bahi, outside of you, Yata, because of Avyayasya, the inexhaustible, Na, not, Itani, all these differences, that, Satyam, the absolute true, Brahma, the supreme, Chit, spiritual, Bhavan, your lordship. The manifest, the unmanifest, false ego, and the beginning, maintenance and annihilation of this cosmic manifestation all come from you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But because you are the Absolute True, the Supreme Absolute Spirit Soul, the Supreme Brahman, such changes as birth, death, and sustenance do not exist in you. Purport. According to the Vedic mantras, Yatova imani bhutani jayante, everything is an emanation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 7.4. Bhumira punalova yu kammano vudire vacha hankaraiti yamme vinna praktiri ashtada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 comprise my separated material energies. In other words, the ingredients of the cosmic manifestation also consist of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This does not mean, however, that because the ingredients come from Him, He is no longer complete. Purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate, because He is the complete all. Even though so many complete units emanate From him he remains the complete balance. Thus the Lord is called Avyaya, inexhaustible. Unless we accept the absolute truth as Achintya Veda Veda, simultaneously one and different, we cannot have a clear conception of the absolute truth. The Lord is the root of everything. Aham Adir Hi Devanam, he is the original cause of all the devas or demigods. Aham Sarvasya Prabhava, everything emanates from him. In all cases, nominative, objective, positive, negative, and so on, whatever we may conceive of in this entire cosmic manifestation, is in fact the Supreme Lord. For him, there are no such distinction as this is mine and this belongs to someone else, because he is everything. He is therefore called Avyaya, changeless and inexhaustible, because the Supreme Lord is Avyaya. He is the absolute truth, the fully spiritual Supreme Brahman. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksharu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble respectful obeisance unto him. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So Lord Shiva is glorifying the Supreme Lord. He heard about the Lord's appearance as Mohini Murti, as a beautiful woman. He didn't see it, he just heard about it. He wasn't there when that happened. I mean, he saved the war because the Devata asked him to please. The first thing that came out from the churning of the milk ocean was poison. And was so big, so gigantic, that was going to destroy the world. So Devatas prayed to Lord Shiva for help, and he agreed. And he just drank he didn't swallow it, he just kept it in his throat. He shrunk the whole thing to fit in both hands, and he took a big, gigantic form either way. In his palm, and kept it in his, that was another name of Lord Shiva's Nilakanta. Nila is blue, Kanta is throat. You know one thing, while traveling in South America, I just came from a big tour all over like 7, 8 countries. Peru, Chile, Uruguay, Paraguay, Argentina, Ecuador, Panama, Mexico, and then here. And I noticed something big peculiar, that devotees there, they call the Tulsi Mala we have, they call it Kunti Mala. It is, I corrected them, Kunti is Queen Kunti. It is Kanti Mala. And why they say that was actually a mistake, was from some American devotee. Because he wrote Kanti Mala as Kunti. Because in English, you can be A, can be U, not. But in Spanish, a U is always a U, and A is always an A. They don't change. It's like in Hindi, the word as pronounced as they are written. But in English, no, it's completely different. So that bewildered everyone, So everybody, for years and years, they call it Kunti Mala. So everywhere I went, I had to correct that. No, it's not Kunti Mala, it's Kanti Mala. It's not your fault, it's some American devotee fault. Somebody made up the idea to write it. Didn't thought that, okay, this sounds like Queen Kunti, Anyway, so many things like that. And everywhere I go, they chant, Bahair Nirsinho. Told them Bahair is not a Sanskrit word. It's Bahir. Bahir Nirsinho. Bahir means outside. Nirsinho is outside. Bahir Nisingo Hridaye is in the heart and is outside. We should meditate on the meaning of each word when we chant the mantras. After so many years in the movement, we should know a little better. Anyway, and it's not their fault either. Some American devotee who went there to preach, from the beginning of the movement, they pronounced Bahir, and even in America, I heard many Bahir. Even I just came from New Dwarka. I hear devotee chanting Bahir. So it's some details, but it's good to know about it and to correct it, for future generation, isn't? Anyway. And also I let them know, okay, put the sign of the mantra Nrsimhadev. I'll go step by step with you. No? It's Ito Nrisimha. Not everything is Nrsimho, not everything is Nrsimha. There are both. Ito Nrisimha parato Nrisimho. Yato yamitato Nrisimha. Bahir Nrisimho, Hridaya Nrisimho. Nrisimham is not Narasimha, and I heard many Narasimha there. There's no, it's Nrisimham Adim Sharanam Prapadyaya. It's an H, it's no, I hear some doctors say Nrisinga. It's not Nrisinga, it's Nrisimha. Anyway, these are details, but I like to point them out since we've been so many years already chanting the same mantra. It's a good idea to do it better, isn't it? Anyway, going back to philosophical aspect of the verse, I mean to say there is a pastime in the Ananda Vrindavan Champu related to the poison that Lord Shiva drank and kept in his throat. In the Nectar of Devotion, it is said that when Parvati saw Lord Shiva with a blue neck, she thought he was somebody else. So she ran away from his company. Anyway, so the pastime related to Krishna and Vrindavan is that one night Mother Yashoda was busy, so she asked the gopis to serve Krishna his dinner. And the gopis brought different varieties of sweet meat for Krishna, rasgulla, sandesh, rasmalai, burfi, pera. Should I keep going? Anyway, so they offered Krishna, which one you like to eat? Krishna said, no, I want to eat that condensed butter up in the sky. It was a full golden moon in the sky. So Krishna pointed to that, say, I like to eat that condensed butter. The gopis laughed. Krishna, that's not butter. This is a Rajahamsa, a royal swan swimming in the cosmos. Oh, I can play with him. So Mother Yashoda came and Krishna complained to her, I wanted to eat this condensed butter, but the gopi says it's a swan. Which one of us is right? And Mother Yashoda said, Krishna is right, because the moon came out from churning the milk ocean. So churning milk eventually comes butter. So Krishna's saying could be correct. When Krishna heard that, he asked his mother, a milk ocean? How many cows were needed to create such an ocean? And Mother Yashoda said, oh, you're a simple village boy, let me explain to you. There was no need of any cows. Krishna said, I don't believe that. If there are no cows, cannot be any milk. That's my experience as a coward boy. Mother Yashoda said, you're a simple village boy, let me explain to you. I heard from authorities that the creator of all the cows, he can create a milk ocean without the need of the cow, without the help of the cows. Say, oh, that's amazing, I never heard that. Okay, then let me eat this butter. Mother Yashoda said, no, this will not be good for you. You see those black spots in the moon? This is poison. If you eat that, you will get sick. He says, I don't believe that. Cobras have poison, and scorpion have poison, and some spiders have poison, but the condensed butter, no, I don't believe it. You're a simple boy. Let me explain to you. When the Devatas and Asuras churned the milk ocean, the first thing that came out was a huge wave of poison. And to save the world from that poison, Lord Shiva kept it in his hand and drank it. But some drops fell from his hand and went into the ocean and touched the moon. That's why the moon has this black spot in it. And some drops fell on the shore of the milk ocean, and animals like scorpions and snakes, they drank it, and that's how they became poisonous. Oh, that I never hear that, Krishna said. Okay, let me have my sweetmeats then for the night. Anyway, so here Lord Shiva is praying to the Lord, expressing his wonder, his amazement, his spiritual realization about the Supreme Lord, that although everything is coming from Him, manifest and manifest, and the beginning of everything, maintenance, annihilation of this cosmic manifestation, but because He's the absolute truth, there is no, it doesn't get affected in any way by creating the world or by destroying it. Those things, like those changes, like birth, death, and doesn't exist in Him because He's the origin of everything. And therefore, simultaneously and unconceivably, He is one and different from everything. We have to understand something amazing about this absolute truth, is that everything exists along with Him simultaneously. In one sense, all the energies are not created. Even the material energy and the spiritual are not created because they're eternal. Only the material energy has manifestation and destruction, and again manifestation, and again destruction. But it's always been there. It's not there. It's not like some Christian idea that out of nothing God created the world. No, there is no such thing as nothing. There is always something, you know. But He's the supreme controller. He decides how to do things and when to do things according to His own sweet will. So that's that, and all the energies, they accept to be subservient to Him. They acknowledge. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasava Britya. There is only one supreme controller, and that is Krishna. And everything else, everyone else is a servant. That's the definition of Shastra, of the absolute truth. So, and the Bhagavad Gita described the 8 material elements. Then the next verse said, remind me please, the first word. Appareyamitastvanyam prakriti vidhime param jivabhuta mahavaho yayedam daryate jagat. But above this material element, there is the soul who's struggling maintaining this universe. So we are all struggling for existence. We are eternal, we are spirit soul, but we have material bodies, and those material bodies make us suffer old age, disease, and death. That's a fact. But somebody who's self-realized, no, I'm not going to die. Only my body is going to die. So he's not afraid of dying. Because he knows there's going to be suffering there. But he tolerates the suffering knowing it's not real. It's just in my mind. Only in your mind perceive that. Prabhupada said there are 2 kinds of people who are happy in this world. The Paramahamsa and the crazy man. Crazy man is not aware of that he's suffering. He doesn't know that he's suffering, you know. Once I was preaching to a person, And he had a dog. He was very attached to the dog, you know. And I told him, look, if you die thinking of your dog, you may be born as a dog in your next life, you know. You have to be careful. He said, and what's wrong to be born as a dog? It's a nice thing. See, I love my dog. Somebody will love me too, take care of me. Well, unless you are born as a dog in India, it will not be the same story, you know. A stray dog there. Everybody kicks. Isn't? Anyway, once Prabhupada was walking in the Juhu beach with the disciples, and one stray dog passed through. See, he's thin, he's skinny, he's unhappy because he has no master. And later on, a man passed with his dog, you know, well kept, well fed. Prabhupada says, see, he's happy because he got a master. So if we accept Krishna as our master and protector and all well-wisher or real friend, then we are happy because we know we are protected. Krishna promised give full protection to those who surrender to him, you know, in the Bhagavad Gita. So we have to have faith in that. Faith actually is the only thing can take us up higher in the spiritual realization. Because the more we are convinced of this supreme reality, that or we are a tiny, insignificant spirit soul, and we belong to Krishna, he is our real Lord and Master, and we are subordinate to him. The whole idea of spreading Krishna consciousness is to make people aware of their subordinate position to the Lord. That's the whole idea, that we should accept what we are. We can't change what we are. If somebody tried to be something he's not happy. But if we accept what we actually are, then we are happy. It's like a child. He accepts his subordination to his parent. Parents say, sit here. Okay, eat your meal. Oh, give me your hand to cross the street. He obeys. He's happy. He feels I am protected. So this is very important. In this material world, nobody can protect anyone. Fallible soldiers, Prabhupada called them, you know. It's a fact. So, and after Lord Shiva glorified the Lord in this beautiful way, you know, he actually wanted to ask something. He was very curious. He wanted to see the Mohini Murti. He didn't see it. He wasn't there when that happened. So he was curious. He wanted to see that form. But before asking directly, he first glorified the Lord to please him. That's you know, psychology, you know, it's a natural psychology. Before you ask something from somebody, you must first, you know, flatter the person, you know. You know, there's one story in the Indian culture, in previous ages, the kings used to have a flatterer, more than one, in the court. And from time to time, they start flattering the king, glorifying in front of the assembly of everyone. So one day, the king decided to have to find one good flatterer. So he announced, you know, in the town, and many men came. And the king said, this job is so important, I have to interview them myself. So he was interviewing each and every man. First man came in. Okay, tell me your credential. And the man said, I this, that, I know this. Okay. Well, but still I have doubt that you may not be able to do this job so good. No, please don't doubt me. I'm very good. Out. Next. And everyone would say, no, I'm very expert at this. I can flatter you. Start flattering the king. I'm not sure about you. No, be sure I will. Out. Next. And the last man who came in said, the king said, actually I have my doubt you can do this job. I also have my doubt. I think I can do it. No, but maybe you can do it. Oh, maybe I also can do it. Okay. You are the man. Because everything, if it's a flatterer means he say everything you say, he agree. So the king said, okay, you're the man. Huh? But this is Lord Shiva glorifying the Lord is not flatter, is the true, you know. And the Shastra is said, if you flatter somebody above his actual position, is a kind of blasphemy, you know. I mean, like a mother called her blind son Padmalochan, you know, lotus eyes. He's blind, something like that. Anyway, so and the Shastra said you should not praise anyone or criticize anyone. Why the Shastra say that? Because you may incur in some offense if you criticize somebody who's not guilty of what you think of. That's a risk. That's very risky. Of course, Prabhupada said if you call a thief is no offense. But before calling somebody a thief, be 100% sure that he's a thief. Understand? So this is very important. And glorifying, okay, I mean, it is accepted we glorify Krishna and his pure devotees, you know, that's natural. But the Shastras say, avoid this, you know, for everyone else, you know. But Lord Shiva glorifying the Supreme Lord, this pure heart. Lord Shiva is Mahadev, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, is the greatest Vaishnava. Great devotee. So his glorification is sincere, is heartfelt. And the Lord, he can see the heart of everyone. You know that another name of Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana. He's in the heart of everyone. He knows anyone's intention. Bhavagrahi? Bhavagrahi. Okay, so thank you for the Sanskrit scholar. Anyway, so the whole idea is that we have to be sincere, Prabhupada said. That's all. We may not be perfect, far from it, but if we are some little sincerity, Krishna will appreciate that. No? So after hearing the praise of Lord Shiva, the Lord was pleased. Then Lord Shiva expressed his desire to see this beautiful form of Mohini Murti. But the Lord joked with him, are you sure you want to see this? You may get bewildered too. And he actually got bewildered. We will hear on the next verses about it. No? This Maya is very, very powerful. And the form of a beautiful woman is very powerful. Everybody is subjected to its attraction. This reminds me, I was fortunate to be with Srila Prabhupada in New York in the occasion of the Ratha Yatra 1976. And they presented to Srila Prabhupada few days before the play, play. There was the temple was, 13th floor building, and Prabhupada was staying in the 11th floor. But one of the floor was a theater, like for 400 or 500 people, something like that. So one of Prabhupada's disciples, he was sannyasi. What was his name? No, he's a good player, theater player. Was a sannyasi. No, either. No. Sudama. He was directing the play, and he was playing himself. And the play was called The Age of Kali, So he was playing the part of Kali, and he was dressed with the, what you call, with a big hat, and, with a can in his hand, directing, lost, greed, anger, do this, do that, So, the part of lust was done by one beautiful girl. She was from Germany. Rasagya was her name. She already passed away. And actually, I did some plays with her and her husband in Spain. We did some plays, nice. Very good actress and actor, and very talented. So anyway, when she came into the stage, she was dressed very nicely, very attractively. So Prabhupada was sitting, and around him were the sannyasis. As soon as she came to the stage, the sannyasi looked somewhere else. They tried not to look at the stage, because she was very attractively dressed, it's beautiful. But Prabhupada kept looking at the stage, and he had a red rose in his hand. He was turning it around, smelling it, smile at the sannyasi, and keep watching the play. We were brahmacharis behind them, so we could see what's going on, And the play ended very nicely in the sense that Lord Chaitanya came with a Sankirtan party, started chanting the Maha Mantra, and all of the followers of Kali, they closed their ears, ran away. Kali himself was defeated. They came into the stage chanting. Everybody got up chanting. It was nice. Prabhupada liked the play. But later, Prabhupada told the sannyasis, you should try to understand the mind of a pure devotee. When you see a beautiful woman, he admired Krishna creation. Oh, Krishna created such a wonderful thing that just by looking at it, men became bewildered. But he doesn't get bewildered because he doesn't want to enjoy, to exploit Krishna's creation. So this is, very, very deep understanding, Once a report asked Prabhupada about, his spiritual realization. Prabhupada said, you can put me in a room with with very beautiful naked women, nothing will happen. No change will happen in my mind or body, nothing, zero. So, and that's very powerful, I mean to say. Who can do that, Haridas Thakur could do that.
Did he specifically say a room full of beautiful naked women?
Who?
Did Prabhupada use those words?
Yeah, he said, you can put me in a room with naked, very beautiful women, and nothing will change in me, zero. Like I'm seeing wood, something like that. That was above this attraction, That's a symptom of somebody actually self-realized. Of course, nobody will put himself in such situation. He's just saying that if something like that happened, nothing will affect me at all. So that's the symptom of self-realization, But of course, the devotee should not put themselves in any danger, Prabhupada in the Nectar of Devotion said, when the devotee really makes spiritual advancement, he will not be attracted to the allurement of the material energy. But if it's not there yet, avoid being tempted. If you are attracted to gamble, don't pass in front of a casino. Take another street. You may be tempted. But when you are really spiritually advanced, you can pass from a casino. Maybe you was a gambler before, but will not affect you anymore, like that. This reminds me, I was in Monterrey, Mexico. We have a preaching center there. One lady used to come to our temple. Her name is Maria. She told me that she was not devotee, but she was attracted to Krishna consciousness. And once she went to the casino. And she saw her Christian priest working, not working, playing the machines in the casino. So he saw her, she saw him, they knew each other. And he approached her and said, Maria, please don't think that this is the money of the church. This is from my own pocket. I'm not gambling the money of the church because they get salary, you know, they get some salary, like that. But I mean, this is Krishna's money. If it's not question of you or the church, it's Krishna's money. You should not misuse it. You should not throw it away. You know, should be used for Krishna's service. But I mean, it's not an easy thing to develop this consciousness, no, unless you get the mercy of pure devotees to understand how to deal in each situation in life, you know. Prabhupada said this world is full of cheaters and cheated. You know? Everybody try to find how to cheat others. But anyway, a devotee who get the help of Krishna and his devotees, he will know things as they are. Anyway, any comments, questions? Yes, Dravida Prabhu.
Was it the kings who have these professional praisers?
Yeah, flatterer, yes.
Flatterers.
Yeah.
There's a word for that. Panegyrist. I discovered it in my editing. There's a word, panegyrist. And panegyrize is a verb meaning, you know.
Yeah.
So that word appears several times in the books of Prabhupada. And I'd like to share this one verse. I know you like it. It's from the Vidagdha Madhava. And it's quoted in the Antilila chapter 1, text 158. And Krishna is walking into Vrindavan forest and he's praising what's going on, you know,
yes.
describing. So this is Sanskrit, is so beautiful. Sugandha ma kanda pakadam simadure vinisyande vandi kutamada pavrindam muhudidam kutandolan mando natabidan halais chandanagare mamanandam vrinda vipinamatulang tundalayati. The sweet fragrant honey oozing from the newly grown mango buds is again and again attracting groups of bumblebees and turning them into panegyrists. Vandis. Vandis is a Sanskrit word. It means that when they go to the king and they praise. So they're buzzing, you know, they're humming in glorification of Krishna.
Yeah.
And this forest is trembling in the softly moving breezes coming down from the Malaya hills, more fragrance, right? Which are full of sandalwood. Thus the forest of Vrindavan is increasing my transcendental pleasure more and more.
Jai ho. Thank you. Kavi. Anymore. So, actually, kings also have not only flatterers, but they have also jokers to make them laugh, you know. Prabhupada tells the story of one of them. One king in Bengal had a joker called Gopal. So one day in the court, the king told Gopal, what is the difference between you and a donkey? And everybody laughing, you know. So Gopal walked toward the king, stood in front of his face, and started walking backward 10 steps. And he said, my king, the difference between a donkey and me is of 10 steps. He called the king donkey. But the king was laughing, he was enjoying, you know. That was his job, to make the king laugh, so... Although he called him donkey, the king was still enjoying, you know. So sometimes Krishna enjoys also being rebuked and chastised by the gopis. He enjoys that. The gopis told, we know everything about you. In your previous life, you was Ramchandra, and you killed this Bali in an unfair way, hiding, shooting an arrow. We know everything about you. You are a cheater from previous life, and still a cheater in this life. Yeah, Brahmana Gita. But Krishna enjoys that. He said, this chastisement of the gopi give me more pleasure than the prayers of the Vedas, personified, you know. Because there is love in it. When there is pure love in it, Krishna enjoys it. Any other comment, questions?
You mentioned that it said in Shastra, I think you said that in Shastra it said that to praise someone or to give like inaccurately high praise is another form of blasphemy.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what the reference in Shastra would be for that and how we would understand that in light of the like profuse or even like hyperbolic praise is not foreign to Vaishnava culture. You know, we use it all over the place. Even in Shastra, there's like hyperbolic praise of devotees. And
well, if it is true, then it is all right.
but what I mean is I'm talking about hyperbolic, meaning it's not true. To say like someone sings like a Gandharva is not true, but we use it. We say
then
things
that
like...
means you're insulting the person.
But it doesn't seem to fit Vaishnava culture, because even Srila Prabhupada would use profuse. Even us saying that Shiva is the greatest devotee is hyperbolic, because he's not a greater devotee than Radharani, he's not a greater devotee than Govardhan.
Well, he's the greatest devotee in the universe. I mean to say, they are not from this universe. They're coming with Krishna from Goloka.
Well, I guess first part of the question is, what is the reference for that? Do you know what the reference would be for that idea?
Okay, here is our Panditji. He can help with that reference. I just remembering what I read. I have, by Krishna's mercy, I have some good memory. I can remember things I read many years ago. So I remember very good reading in Prabhupada's books.
Oh, Prabhupada commented on it.
Yeah, it's Prabhupada's comment. To praise somebody above his actual grades.
That's in King Prithu.
Yeah.
Example,
Yeah.
that they were praising him before he did anything.
Yeah, and Bhagavatam
But
is saying to
that-
praise someone before they actually accomplish it, praise after, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But this
But
seems a bit
actually,
different,
King
because
Prithu,
Srila Prabhupada
he
praises
was,
people also.
Huh?
Wouldn't you say Srila Prabhupada also praises people, say like you're the best, you know, like... It's hard for me to see how that fits.
No,
I feel like there
actually,
must be some qualification for that
this is a
statement.
tactic. It's a preaching tactic. Like Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, they will go door to door because Lord Chaitanya ordered them, you know, to preach Krishna consciousness. So they will praise the person, you know. You are very pious, very religious. Okay. Well, ask me anything you want. You want some donation, some money, some food? No, we only want to ask you, please chant Hare Krishna and give up your sinful life. That's all. So priests, they praise them, but with the purpose to help them become Krishna conscious. So this is a trick. You know, like devotee in Sankirtan may meet somebody, say, oh, you are such an intelligent person.
Well, this is the Prabodhananda Saraswati, or Prabodhananda.
Yeah. You can do that.
Give up your
you can do
nonsense.
that to help the person, you know, do some devotional service for their own good, you know. It's like the mother, she cheat the child. Okay, if you take the medicine, I'm going to give you a sweet. But when he take the medicine, there is no sweet. So she cheating. For his own good, she's cheating, you know. So sometimes Vaishnava may do something like that. But for the good of people, not to harm anyone. No?
Would you agree that if you go to any Hare Krishna temple, you'll see any guest introduced with hyperbolic language? This is a devotee who's been, we're so fortunate, well, some of these things are not inaccurate, but I mean, do you think this is wrong? Should Tukaram Prabhu cut out his introductions? You know Tukaram Prabhu in his introductions when he has a speaker. This is my favorite Vaishnava. You know, Tukaram will say, this person has been to, I think, every country in the world sharing Krishna consciousness. You know, things like that.
Well,
Should Tukaram cut it out?
That's what they're
wrong?
saying is true. If the person actually traveling preaching, if it is true, then it's okay. But if it's not going anywhere, Prabhupada criticized some impersonalists in India. They called them Jagat Guru, but they never went out of their town. So how they call him Jagat Guru? Never went anywhere. But if you say that somebody is traveling all over the world and it is true, then it's not hyperbolic, it is the truth. You know?
I mean, I could easily admit that if you introduce someone who has like a horrible voice, as okay, so Bhakti Mukunda is going to lead the kirtan right now, beautiful voice like a Gandharva, and you know, and he can't sing. It's like, well, that's really embarrassing. You know, you just get
it's
introduced.
embarrassing.
You know, it's embarrassing. So I see that.
It's actually insulting the person.
So I'm trying to understand how do you understand that idea? Where does it come from? How do you understand that idea? Because it doesn't seem to reflect actual Vaishnava culture as far as I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I mean to
But I can see
say,
the essence
we have to
there.
be respectful, polite with everyone, but not, you know, hyperbolically praising somebody above the reality, you know. That's the point. Yes.
Satsut Maharaj, one time he was, it was Vyas Puja for him, you know.
Who?
Satsut Maharaj,
Okay.
my Guru Maharaj.
Yes.
So he said, this time we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of everyone reading praises that probably aren't completely true.
That's his humbleness, yes.
You know, we're going to do something else, you know. Instead of me listening to everyone over-glorify me, you know, he wanted to make a different arrangement for the Vyasa Puja. So I think in a situation like that, you want to really glorify your spiritual master. I don't know what it was. I just remember that.
Let's glorify other devotees who are present here, maybe something like that.
But these Vyasa Puja offerings, I don't know if you experienced that, but that's what he was experiencing.
Yeah. That's nice, you know. I mean, one important thing, when devotee is praised, he doesn't take it personally. He offers it to his Guru and Krishna, you know. That if I have any good qualities coming from Krishna, not coming from me. Tell you one story about that. Ramanuja Acharya, he had many disciples. One of his disciples was named Govinda. He was his cousin and he was a pure devotee. So one day Govinda was with his godbrothers and they start praising him. Govinda, you are such a humble and tolerant devotee, and you are so kind and so merciful. And they were praising him like that, but they were all true. He was a pure devotee. But when somebody praises you, you try to be humble. No, please don't say that. I am fallen soul, you know. But internally you may think, oh, very nice. Finally somebody recognized some of my good quality. But Govinda Das, he said to his godbrother, yes, you are right. I have all those good qualities. They were shocked, you know. They went to their Guru, Ramanuja Acharya, to complain. We were praising our godbrother Govinda, and he said, yes, it is true. I have all those good. And Ramanuja Acharya called Govinda, you know, and privately chastised him. Govinda, what is this? Vaishnava should not be proud. Why you are saying like this? And Govinda said, my dear Guru Maharaj, it is true I have no good qualities at all. If I have any, it's only due to your mercy alone. And how can I deny that you actually gave me your mercy? By acknowledging that I have those qualities, I'm acknowledging that you gave me your mercy. Then Ramanuja Acharya was pleased and he hugged him, you know. You are a true Vaishnava, you know. So this is how to, you know, not to be falsely humble or not to be proud, you know, to offer everything to the mercy of Guru and Krishna, you know.
I know, and I know, I'll just say, trying to make this short. I know in some seminar, I can't think of what it was that my Guru gave, he mentioned a similar point. Not exactly the same point, just saying that there's, he was commenting on the false ego or something like that, and saying that you don't need to, like, to encourage a devotee, you don't need to inflate their false ego.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about that, but more relevant actually is one devotee who's listening online, he sent a good reference for this not praising.
Okay.
So he sent this from Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes.
It's being quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna,
yeah, I read
speaking
it
to
there
Uddhava.
actually.
Yeah. So but in that purport, I just don't see much elaboration in that purport of like the practical application and it being that.
You can read it if you like.
Well, it's a long purport. I just don't see anything in that long purport about like the practical application being don't praise anything hyperbolically. Like,
Yeah.
You know. So that's why I'm still a little confused as to the practical application of it. It just says, yeah, Krishna's saying you shouldn't praise or criticize, but the conditioned nature and activities of other persons.
Yes, that is there. There's also in Chaitanya Bhagavatam, there is a quote saying the same thing, you know. Very good. Thank you. Any last question? Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Dujamani, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reading the prayers of Lord Shiva, it seems like he's glorifying the Lord and addressing him in the mood of awe and reverence as part of Brahman.
Yes.
Why is that so? Why is it not something different?
Well, because there is a difference between Krishna and his avatars, like Lord Vishnu, Narayan. Since they have the charge of the material world, so the approach is more formal, you know. Understand? But when Lord Shiva wanted to see the Ras Leela, it was a different situation. No? It's according to place and circumstances, time, place, circumstances. So in this particular circumstance was appropriate for Lord Shiva to glorify the Lord in this very formal, way, respectful way. So they know, great Vaishnava, they know how to speak, how to act according to time, place, circumstance. No? So he did the right thing according to the circumstances. All right, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.